Oh, it's all fun and games while you're having your summer affair until it comes time to end it without anyone else finding out. That ain't gonna happen. This episode once again leaves us with more questions than answers, which I'm going to dig into at the end of this little recap. However, for now, let's start with Noah's little part of the story. Noah and his dysfunctional family find themselves in a therapy session, but of course, Whitney is the subject, because Noah's never done anything wrong. She starts blaming her parents because she's a teenager, and that's her go-to. She thinks her dad is miserable and that it's Helen's fault for having an affair with Max. Well, she did kiss him on the mouth and leave with him in that last episode. Whitney is very perceptive that there's an affair going on with her parents. She just had the wrong adult. The end result of this therapy session is that the family decides they're going to leave the beach early, which ticks Whitney off because she just wasn't calibrated for this quick change. Martin needs to let Cole know that he won't be coming back to the Lockhart Ranch to work for the rest of the summer, so Noah takes him over to say goodbye. While he's there, he sees Allison, and she, of course, is hurt because he's leaving and wasn't even going to say goodbye. Don't worry, though. Just like elementary school, Noah writes a little note to Allison and sticks it in her bicycle basket, right at her place of work, in front of his nemesis, Oscar. Noah is seriously bad at having an affair, like the worst. Oscar decides to blackmail Noah for some money because he's short on cash and he thinks Noah has it. He lets Noah know that if he doesn't bring him $10,000, he's going to tell Helen about what's been going on, which leaves Noah with no option but to go to Max, who has that kind of cash. Ultimately, Noah thinks he's having a cardiac event, but in fact, it's a panic attack, and he confesses everything to Helen. Noah tries to tell her how much he loves her and guilts her about some guy named Leon, but of course she didn't do it with Leon, so it's not even the same thing. The only good thing that happens to Noah in this episode is that his father-in-law gets outed as a fake writer in Vanity Fair magazine. He's practically giddy. And now to Allison's side of the story. Once again, we see the brilliance of this show. Allison is standing there painting the deck, and Cole says it's a total waste of time because it's rotten. She says, well, we'll just paint it anyway. And he's like, no, we gotta just get rid of it. It's destroyed. It's just gonna be paint on rotten wood. Very insightful, Cole. Allison goes to the lobster roll to get her last paycheck from Oscar, but he won't give it to her. So she says, fine, and takes 2 pies and puts them right in her bicycle basket. She doesn't even find the note. Guess who does? Cole's very overprotective mother. She tells Allison to end the affair and never to tell Cole about it. Then she takes the note and she burns it with fire. Don't mess with a mama bear. Cole is once again the voice of reason in this series and suggests that they make nice with Oscar. He and Scotty go over to tell him they will support the bowling alley. Then Oscar outs Allison's affair, which earns him a full-on pounding by the Lockhart boys. At which point, Allison and Cole need a break from each other, so she goes to Brooklyn with her friend. The 2 girls get high and then end up going to Helen's store. Rule number 1 of keeping your affair a secret, you don't go visit the other woman. Ever. Have these people never read a romance novel? A little break from Cole is short-lived because he shows up at the apartment in Brooklyn to talk to Allison about the fact that cocaine has been stolen. He wonders if maybe it's the guy she has been sleeping with. Allison is quick to come to his defense that he's not that kind of person, and Cole says, oh, so he sleeps with another man's wife, but he draws the line at theft. Burn. Then we get to the most compelling scene of this episode, when Cole sits down on the curb and is so caring of Allison, gets her newspaper so she won't get her dress dirty. Then he describes how dealing with his son's death was so different, and so now the only person he had was Allison. And it's almost as if he's giving her a pass for her bad behavior, as that's just how she's dealt with her grief. The episode ends with Cole and Allison holding hands, and Cole standing by her side and telling off his mother. And then the 2 decide to have a baby together. That's what happened, but here's the questions I need answered. The boys tease Scotty mercilessly about being with a little brunette girl. Is that Whitney? Oh my word. That would explain why she didn't want to leave the beach early. She's a minor. Is the baby that Allison describes to the interrogator actually her and Cole's child? I think so, but I guess time will tell. Why do you think the interrogator is reading and marking up Noah's book? Does he think it's a clue? I thought it was a work of fiction. How angry is Helen's dad going to stay about the Vanity Fair expose? Somebody had to have outed him. Who do you think sent the story in? Maybe his wife? Do you think Allison really went to Noah's house and looked in his window? Again, have these people ever read a book or watched a movie? And finally, why isn't there more Josh Jackson? He is amazing. We need more of him on TV. So those were my thoughts and my questions after watching this episode. Let me know if you have any theories or answers to the things I've asked, or if you have other thoughts in general. Put them in the comments below and we'll talk about them there.